Basic assumptions of behaviorism. Behaviorists believe that with the exception of a few simple reflexes, a person is born as a blank slate, with no inherited tendency to behave one way or another. Over time, the environment writes on this slate, slowly molding or conditioning the individual into an adult, who has unique characteristics and ways of behaving. Thus, by changing environmental events, we may also be able to change behavior. Behaviorists contend that thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, occurring inside a person cannot be observed, and so cannot be studied scientifically. Some behaviorists describe a person as a black box, something that cannot be opened for inspection. Instead, they focus on observable stimuli and responses that can be studied objectively. In recent years, some behaviorists have integrated cognitive processes and other internal phenomena into their theoretical explanations. Behaviorists also believe that learning is something that can be observed and documented, and should be defined as a change in behavior. Imagine that your students look attentively as you explain a difficult concept. When you finish, you ask, "Any questions?" You look around the room, and not a single hand is raised. Could you think, they all understand? But you really have no idea if they understand or not. Only observable behavioral changes, such as responses on a test or assignment, a greater frequency of independent reading, a reduction in hitting and kicking, or riding a bike independently, can ultimately tell you that learning has occurred. For stimulus-response relationships to develop, they must occur at more or less the same time, so there is contiguity between them. If you have ever trained a puppy, you likely know that it is pointless to scold them for making a mess while you were out. The pup may have chewed your slippers shortly after you left, and will not make the connection between that behavior and your scolding. In order for the pup to learn not to chew your slippers, the scolding must happen while he is chewing your slipper. Similarly, if you are teaching your pup to sit, you would give praise or treats as soon as he sat down. Behavioral theories, particularly classical and operant conditioning, were developed from the study of non-human animals, yet they often explain human behavior. What animals have you observed learning something new? In addition to dogs, I have seen dolphins and whales being trained. And I can think of many other animals that have been trained, even though I have not observed it happening. Animals in a circus such as tigers, lions, and elephants have learned to perform tricks. And there was a gorilla named Coco, who learned sign language. I'm sure that you can think of others. Can you think of any similarities in the ways that animals and people learn? Something to keep in mind as we explore classical conditioning and operant conditioning, the two main theories within the behavioral perspective.